Hey, good afternoon, Bob, Trade Genius, the 9th of November, and I'll start off with natural gas. And so I took profit now. I'm pretty much completely out of natural gas long for the moment. I think it still has another 40 cents to run, but I closed off the last of my positions when it hit my purple midline fall and hit the 5-day high, and also coming up right up against the channel line resistance. And it fell off the rest of the day, and it pretty much stayed down there. But I was oh, sorry about that. I hate when it does that. But for me, I'm happy with the profit, and it hasn't come back and touched it since. Just been a grind here. So tomorrow, I'm not really expecting too much for natural gas. I think it had had a good move. Now we'll wait for weather again, and it may need to consolidate down to get more energy to go up over. Now, if it breaches the 323 area here and holds it, then we're going to go to the 340 area. So, and if you look at it here, there's no volume there, so we have to even go up even farther. The next area of interest then would be 327, 329, and then right in here 335. But I think it's going to consolidate here first, probably come back down to this point of control. But you know, it could easily get up to here too. But I've had a great run, made some good money, and now just kind of kicking back. I flipped my interest to oil here, and my initial expectation was that oil should start rotating down, but there's just too much geopolitical news going on right now, and then they're calling for rig counts to fall going into tomorrow's report, and so I flipped from being short to neutral, and today just kind of stayed stuck, you know, in this range here. And so I think if it breaks this flag here, it goes to here, and if it breaks this this low here and this low volume node here, then it goes to here. So we're just gonna have to kind of wait and see. But my at Fridays too, going into Fridays, it's kind of foolish to short the market, the oil market, because who wants to be short oil over the weekend, especially with the Saudis and the Kuwaitis telling people to get their citizens out of Lebanon. And just there's something going on behind the scenes here. So you know, they'll pop oil in a heartbeat. And the last thing I want to be is short oil future contracts when a war breaks out that's not priced into the price of oil. So I could see this thing jamming oil and really screwing people. So I'd rather be long than short oil going into a weekend. So same holds true with gold and with volatility. That's futures contracts. Now going over to crypto, cryptos are I'm having one of my better days because I'm more altcoin than Bitcoin in terms of my holdings, and see, Bitcoin's just going to consolidate now for a while. It's stuck in a range. You know, it has to absorb all the people buying into it to catch the quote-unquote SegWit 2 dividend, and now that that's not going to happen, people who bought it just for that are selling out, and then there are people just buying Bitcoin because they want to buy Bitcoin. But you know, right now from a trading standpoint, it's pretty tight range. And then now we have a Litecoin, and Litecoin popped again, had a beautiful move here. You know, we had some exits, but I closed mine here, and then got back in on this move here, and then you have Ethereum has just been grinding higher, and I haven't touched my Ethereum since I went in and got long again here. So um, looks good. It looks like it's ready to consolidate for another breakout. And I also have Ripple, and Ripple had a nice 10% move here, and I'm holding Ripple more for there's some meetings, and sometimes they have news coming out of those, so I'm just kind of waiting and see. This kind of phantom trade here screwed up my software, so but I'll rely on the moving averages here to help me until then. But it looks good, and I'm holding, like I said, I want to see if this thing pops. This might be one of those ghost prints that kind of foretells the future, and I'd love to be able to have it sell up there and make some really good profit. And then you got Neo's moving too, and starting to chop up a little bit. And then you got Stellar that's going absolutely crazy, and I totally missed this move. I usually short Stellar against Bitcoin, but I stayed away from it. Good thing, because of that fork blowing up. I just didn't want to be in front of that train, and this is a nice move for people with Stellar. And then so software's great. If you want to get the software, you can go to tradegenius.co and inquire, and there's a way in which you can get it for free for a year, and so check into that if you like it. We're just having just a great time trading and making money on these cryptos. Volatility and trading are two very good friends, and now that this fork is behind us, now it'd be nice just to get these swings and trade the supply and demand again. Now flipping over to the ETF land, is that so we got stopped out of JJN, which is the nickel, and the other thing that flashed here as a sell is that this is the ag chems, so they flashed the sell, which is good because I've been waiting to see if I can get into potash or mosaic again. And then here's the things that are popping over the 100 right now. You got Evolution Petroleum had a nice day. These gap ups you just can't chase. So it gapped and went, and so did this one. And I was in BRS and got stopped out. EPM, I had a buy limit on it, and I took it off. And but man, what a nice move. And then GG we're in, and it's holding that 100-day, which is good. Looks like sugar's getting a bid too. We're not in sugar. Like I said, we closed out our all our nat gas positions for the moment. I'd love for it to come back down to around here. Good for a trade again. And then we closed our Cameco out. And look at this move here on URA, because primarily because the Cameco closed a mine, and so people are looking for higher uranium prices. And then here, I'll get to the VIX because I shorted UVXY with puts, but we had a nice push up on this too. But again, as soon as it comes up, and the Thursday, the week before OPEX week, is usually it's the low for the next 7 days. So that's why I went in when I saw that spike in the VIX. That's why I went in on UVXY, and market's still open, and now we're hitting the lows. 1538 was the low of the day, and so we're it's performing as advertised. We're up on the trade. I have 30 contracts long, and I may pull a little off the table here for the end of the day, but my expectation is that they'll just drive this thing right to the floor again for Friday. The news was all about the tax stuff, which is still nothing burger. People are not gonna sell this market off until they know for sure what they're gonna get or what they're not gonna get for it. And just looking at a few other things here is that we pretty much caught a lot of these that moved up already, and like I said, once we get a little bit of sell-off here, this will be a good one to hold. If it gets back down to here around 22 for people, this would be a great one to hold. You can sell calls against it, and you can build a nice position, at least for the next 60 to 90 days before you have to flip in that gas short. And then on a vol buzz kind of day, the only thing to keep an eye on is that I know corn, and they're taking these USDA reports are just clobbering the agriculture stocks, but soybean and coffee, which I put a buy limit in, I'm going to hold on, are fantastic recipients of higher prices when we go into a La Nina year. And this one's going to be pretty strong, has to be pretty durable. So I'm hoping that we'll get a push down here at around 16 again, and I'll be a buyer at 16, 1575 and 1550, and average in for a move at least to 18. So I'm looking for definitely a 20% move for coffee here if the trade hasn't left the station on me already. But it's been so jiggy that I'm sure that they're going to give me an opportunity to get in again with one of those beat downs that they do in the futures markets. And so that's pretty much it. So I'll do some stuff this weekend. Phil and I are going to have a Bob and Phil show on Saturday. We're going to talk about after the fork and how to trade and what to trade. And then I'll talk futures with energy and see where that's going, because I think that's where a lot of action is going to happen. And then December, I think the metals and miners are going to really be rocking and rolling. And I'm kind of neutral on them right now. I'm long GG, but I also have nugget puts for December. And so that's kind of where it is. So we're having a great month so far. And thanks for listening. Have a good one. Bye-bye.